Hello and welcome. This is ASO TV News. I am Tina Oje Achu. The headlines. President Tinubu calls for tolerance, generosity and peaceful coexistence as Muslims celebrate Eid al-Kabir. FCT Minister facilitated with Muslims urges residents to embrace sacrifice and civic responsibility. Federal government approves 50% fare discount on NRC train services for Eid al-Kabir celebration. And the military troops neutralized 317 terrorists, arrest 314 suspects, and rescued 221 in a month. And now, the news in detail. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has urged Nigerians to embrace tolerance, generosity, and peaceful coexistence as Muslims celebrate Eid al-Kabir. The president made the call after observing Eid prayers at Doden Barracks in Lagos alongside Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu, former Governor Babatunde Fashola, Obariwan Akiolu, and other dignitaries. President Tinubu said the festival symbolizes sacrifice, obedience, and love for humanity, stressing the need for Nigerians to shun ethnic division, hatred, and discrimination. He noted that Nigerian strength lies in its diversity and called on citizens to support one another, especially the less privileged, while respecting the rule of law.
Yeah, another Eid Kabir. We thank His mercy, and we must learn from the lessons of this season. And is showing love to one another, no discrimination, no ethnicity, no hatred, and we should share love and be generous to one another in a way that will reflect the value of our country and the humanity in us. It is essential that we be very tolerant, be obedient to the wish of Allah, and obedient to the rule of law, which must guide our society.
The president also condemned banditry and violence, saying no religion supports the taking of innocent lives. In his sermon, the Grand Chief Imam of Lagos State, Sheikh Solomon Abunola, urged Muslims to uphold unity, sacrifice, and fear of Allah. Now, President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, has facilitated President Bola Tinubu, his vice, Kashim Shettima, and Muslim faithful in Nigeria and around the world as they celebrate Eid al-Kabir. In a congratulatory message through his special advisor on media and publicity, Mr. Seme Ibo, the Senate President said the occasion calls for prayer and sober reflection on the theme of sacrifice. Senator Akpabio said this sacred occasion reminds us of Prophet Ibrahim's unwavering faith, obedience, and willingness to sacrifice for the sake of Almighty Allah. He said these timeless virtues of devotion, selflessness, and submission to divine will are values a nation desperately needs today. The Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, has urged residents of Abuja to embrace the values of sacrifice, discipline, and selflessness as Muslims celebrate Eid al-Kabir. In his 2026 Eid message, the minister said the festival should inspire citizens to contribute actively to nation building and peaceful coexistence. Wike described Eid al-Kabir as a reminder of Prophet Ibrahim's unwavering faith and devotion to the common good. He called on residents to demonstrate patience and discipline by keeping the city clean, obeying traffic and building regulations, paying taxes promptly, and cooperating with security agencies. The minister noted that Abuja represents the gains of unity and sacrifice, describing the Federal Capital Territory as a miniature Nigeria built on peaceful coexistence among different ethnic and religious groups. He also disclosed that major infrastructural projects across the city center and rural communities would soon be commissioned in line with President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's renewed hope agenda. To ensure a peaceful celebration, Wike said the FCT administration had mobilized relevant security agencies to maintain law and order during the festivities. He further appealed to residents to reject divisive rumors, show compassion to the less privileged, and promote harmony in homes, workplaces, and places of worship. The minister also highlighted the coincidence of the 2026 Eid al-Kabir celebration with Children's Day, describing children as the future of the FCT and Nigeria. He urged parents, teachers, and community leaders to instill values of honesty, patriotism, and discipline in young people while investing in their education, healthcare, and protection. The chairman-elect of Gwagwalada Area Council, Kasimu Muhammad Ikwa, has said that he is determined to make Gwagwalada Area Council great again. Comrade Ikwa stated this while speaking with newsmen after observing the 2 Rakat prayers for this year's Eid al-Kabir celebration. Correspondent Abdullahi Mukhtar reports.
Hundreds of worshippers came out in large numbers at the Zuba Eid ground like their counterparts across the globe to observe the 2 Rakat prayers. In his sermon, the chief imam of Zuba, Malam Adamu Haruna, called on the Muslim Ummah to ensure unity among themselves. In an interview, the Gwagwalada chairman-elect Comrade Kasimu Muhammad Ikwa, who was among the worshippers, gave glory to God for witnessing another Salah celebration and called on the people to imbibe the spirit of sacrifice and forgiveness.
I want to join all Muslim brothers worldwide to ask for forgiveness and acceptance of all our good deeds in this month, this year, and every other time, with prayer that may God continue to give us good health and leave us alive to witness more and more of Eid al-Kabir to come.
Speaking on his administration, which is expected to be inaugurated in 2 weeks' time, Comrade Kasimu Muhammad Ikwa said transforming the council remains his mission, as he is determined to make Gwagwalada Area Council great again.
For every beginning, there is an end. Anything that have a date, and definitely to come in as far as we are alive. Today is almost 2 weeks to our inauguration. My prayer is for us to witness that memorable day, and that is going to mark the beginning of the transformation of Gwagwalada, because I'm determined to make Gwagwalada great.
Some of the worshippers also spoke with ASO Radio and Television on the significance of the Eid al-Kabir celebration.
Every person is in a joyous mood. The unity is unprecedented. The love is overwhelming. All and sundry are happy today.
Alhamdulillah, for today Eid, the prayer went successful. And we congratulate all the Muslim Ummah across Nigeria and FCT, Gwagwalada and Zuba entirely.
I feel so happy and grateful for witnessing this day, alhamdulillah.
Among the worshippers at the Zuba Eid ground were the Agora of Zuba, Alhaji Muhammad Bello Umar, the incumbent vice chairman of Gwagwalada Area Council, Alhaji Said Abdullahi Zuba, and many other worshippers. Abdullahi Mukhtar, ASO Television News.
In preparation for the 2026 Eid al-Kabir Salah celebration, the chairman of Abaji Area Council, Alhaji Bubakar Umar Abdullahi, has flagged off the distribution of 50 kg bags of rice across the 10 political wards of the Area Council. The flag-off ceremony was conducted on behalf of the chairman by the APC Local Government Party chairman, Honorable Muhammad Angulu Bello, who represented him at the event. Speaking during the exercise, Honorable Muhammad Angulu Bello emphasized the importance of fairness and transparency in the distribution process. He urged ward representatives and party stakeholders to ensure that the items reach the intended beneficiaries, particularly vulnerable and underprivileged members of the community, to enable them celebrate the Salah season with joy and dignity. He also commended the executive chairman for his foresight, generosity, and unwavering commitment to the welfare and well-being of the people of Abaji Area Council. The federal government, through the Federal Ministry of Transportation, has approved a 50% fare discount on all train services operated by the Nigerian Railway Corporation as part of measures to ease transportation costs for Nigerians during the Eid al-Kabir celebration. Permanent Secretary, Federal Ministry of Transportation, Engineer Fonsho Adebiyi, in a statement said the discount takes effect from Tuesday, May 26, 2026, and will run through Monday, June 1st, 2026. Accordingly, ticket fares on all NRC passenger train services across the country have been reduced by 50% of the existing approved rate within the stated period. Passengers who had earlier purchased tickets at the full fare before the announcement will be entitled to a 50% rebate, reusable for train rides on or before Monday, June 1st, 2026. The statement noted that train schedules and timetables remain as previously advertised. The Federal Ministry of Transportation appreciated the continued support of Nigerians and wished all passengers and the Muslim faithful a peaceful and joyous Eid al-Kabir celebration. Meanwhile, the Nigerian Railway Corporation has temporarily suspended operations on the Warri-Itekpa train service following what it described as operational exigencies and technical recommendations from its engineers. In a statement issued on Tuesday, the corporation said the suspension was necessary to allow for critical operational assessment aimed at ensuring continued safety, reliability, and improved service delivery along the corridor. The NRC stated that efforts are already underway to address the identified issues and restore normal operations as quickly as possible. The corporation also apologized to passengers and other stakeholders for the inconvenience caused, assuring the public that updates on the resumption of services will be communicated before the end of the week. You're watching Asa Television News. You can watch us live on DSTV channel 392, also on StarTimes TV channel 127, and Free TV channel 507. We are also on the UHF band on channel 38. Still to come, military troops neutralized 317 terrorists, arrest 314 suspects, and rescue 221 in a month. Stay with us for details of this and more.
And all their modern ambition pace. There is no margin for error. So much here is familiar.
Over 1,900 games brought us here.
There is not a sporting heat quite like this.
But history doesn't care about the journey. It only remembers how it ends.
You bottle it. There's no other word. You bottle it.
8 titles. 1 month of mayhem to decide them all.
Outstanding from Patrick Dorgan.
Stay connected and watch GoTV to catch the football season finale this May. It's on.
Thanks for staying with us. Pastor Hepzibah Ugochukwu Michael of the Hepzibah Ugochukwu Michael of the Winning Women International Ministry has described children as great arrows destined for greatness and positive impact in society. The statement was made during the ministry's Children's Day celebration with emphasis on Philippians chapter 4 verse 19 from the Holy Scriptures, focusing on faith, purpose, and God's provision. Here is a report presented from our studio.
Children's Day is celebrated annually to honor children and promote their welfare rights and future development in society. It was in the spirit that the Winning Women International Ministry organized a special Children's Day celebration, bringing together children and parents in an atmosphere of prayer, worship, and engagement. The event featured special prayer sessions where parents prayed for their children, while the children also offered prayers for their parents, promoting unity, love, and spiritual growth within families.
Hear what they give them to drink in the dream, in the physical, in the school, or even in the church. That has stand up. Say, Father! Say, Father!
Speaking at the program, Pastor Hephzibah Michael said the event, which has been held for the past 9 years, is aimed at intentionally guiding children through life's journey with godly values and discipline, noting that children must be properly nurtured to fulfill their purpose. Track up.
We are having our Children's Day celebration to mark the Children's Day, pray for them. Just like nationwide, we have Children's Day in the church also, and these ones are tagged our great arrows. It's in our mind to do this like 3 times in a year, where we host the children and they get themselves prayed for by their parents and they pray for their parents. And also we have in mind also to let these children know their purpose and their mission on earth so that they don't miss it. Just as the name implies, great arrows, that they will not miss their target, that they will not miss their direction. Thank you so much, and I wish that by this time next year, we'll see them in more numbers. Those that are trusting God for the fruit of the womb will come here with their children. Those that celebrated this year will be adding more years, and it will be celebration galore. Fortunately, next year will be our 10th year anniversary, and we tend to really see the full package on these children because they will be doing a lot of display and talent.
A teacher and some of the children spoke on the significance of this year's program and expressed their expectation for a bigger and more engaging celebration next year.
Sincerely, I have passion for children, maybe because I'm a teacher. And as a teacher, it has given me the large arts in handling children and in helping them grow. Because just like the topic says, there are arrows in our hands and there are destinies that must be protected and must be taken care of.
The event also featured praise session, Bible sword drills, recitation, presentation, and other activities aimed at building confidence, faith, and leadership qualities among the children.
Professor Sandy Ono, a former senator and commissioner in Cross River State, has been declared winner of the People's Democratic Party presidential candidate for next year's general election. Professor Ono emerged through a consensus affirmation at an event held at the party's national headquarters, Wadada House, Abuja. The ceremony was witnessed by officials of the Independent National Electoral Commission, including Professor Abdullahi Zuru and some directors. The chairman of the party's presidential election primary committee and former governor of Benue State, Dr. Samuel Oto, said that Professor Sandy Ono emerged through a consensus affirmation across the state, being the only aspirant of the party.
Formally, and announce that we have Professor Sandy Ono as a consensus candidate of our great party for the 2027 presidential election.
In his acceptance speech, the PDP presidential candidate assured the gathering that he would take the responsibility thrusted upon him with all seriousness.
Those people out there, young men and women who have left school and cannot get gainful employment, those people who have become vulnerable to recruitment by bandits and terrorists because they cannot function as they want. That is where my target will be.
Also speaking, the party's national secretary, Senator Sam Ayawu, described the presidential candidate as a round peg in a round hole. The event was attended by the party's national working committee and prominent members. An FCT magistrate court has adjourned until June 17 for continuation of hearing in the alleged 626 million naira fraud case involving former national chairman of the SDP, Shehu Gabam. Chief Magistrate Amoche Ayadum adjourned the matter on Monday after ruling that documents presented by the prosecution were admissible as evidence. The court dismissed objections raised by counsel to the defendants and held that the documents complied with provisions of the Evidence Act.
Speaking with journalists after the proceedings in Abuja, SDP National Chairman Professor Abubakar Gombe said the party presented bank statements, disciplinary committee reports, letters of invitation, and other financial documents linked to the allegations against Gabam. Gombe alleged that some of the documents were connected to companies used in transactions involving party funds during Gabam's tenure as chairman.
Why we are here is not about party leadership, it's not about any internal affairs of party. It's about criminality that was perpetuated against the constitution of the party and the law, and also against the finances of the party, that we came for that criminal prosecution into the matter. That is why we are here, not on any party leadership. But nonetheless, since the judge in her own magnanimity, which we respect her much, he said if there is room for any reconciliation outside the court and so on, quoting the Bible and the Quran, we are happy with disposition irrespective of that. But you cannot go into somebody to reconcile with somebody who is not ready for, who will come to court after a week, will go and embed a place and cut away documents of the offices as an institution because you have relationship with. I can understand. Today, I was taken as a witness. We tendered relevant documents, among which are the report of the disciplinary committee that tried the accused, and after that also it involved the letter of suspension, the letter of invitation that was sent to the accused irrespective of the investigation which they refused to honor. Then also we tendered documents irrespective of the company that they siphoned and laundered party money.
He said the defendant was granted bail in the sum of 3 million naira with conditions including the submission of his international passport and 2 sureties with landed property in Abuja. Gabam was arraigned on May 12th over alleged misappropriation of party funds between 2022 and 2023. Gombe also maintained that the party followed due process in suspending and expelling Gabam over allegations of financial misconduct and constitutional breaches. The case resumes on June 17th.
The Defense Headquarters says troops neutralized about 317 terrorists and arrested 314 suspects across various theatres of operation nationwide within the past month. The Director of Defense Media Operations, Major General Michael Onoja, during the monthly media briefing in Abuja, also disclosed that 221 civilians were rescued while 18 terrorists surrendered to troops during the period under review. He further revealed that troops of Operation Wildstroke conducted rescue interdiction and clearance operations targeting kidnappers, armed traffickers, and other criminal elements across Benue, Kogi, Nasarawa, and Taraba State.
In the Joint Task Force North Central Operation Enduring Peace, troops of Operation Enduring Peace demonstrated relentless operational drive across Plateau and parts of Bauchi, the Federal Capital Territory, Kaduna, and Nasarawa states during the period. They recorded major landmark results in the neutralization of kidnapping networks and the elimination of dangerous criminal infrastructure embedded within civilian communities. In all, 9 terrorists were neutralized, 36 terrorists were arrested, while 15 civilians were rescued. Following the arrest of 2 kidnappers in Kwampan local government area of Plateau State on the 29th of April, a targeted follow-up operation neutralized 4 additional gang members in their hideout. Then, on the 3rd of May, a suspect was apprehended along the Abaji-Kwali Road in Abuja. He was found to have concealed 250 rounds of 7.62 millimeter special ammunition within a vehicle's engine compartment. This arrest exposed the calculated mechanisms through which illegal arms are trafficked within the country. In Doma local government area of Nasarawa State, troops recovered an AK-47 rifle during a kidnap intervention.
Major General Onoja said troops also recovered 93 weapons, destroyed 3 illegal refining sites, and seized 21,910 liters of assorted petroleum products. In all, he added that 14 criminals were arrested, 3 illegal refining sites were destroyed, while 21,910 liters of assorted petroleum products were recovered. Major General Noja said troops of Operation Udoka sustained offensive operations in Abia, Anambra, and Ebonyi State, awakening IPOP and ESN activities while tackling violent crimes and illegal economic operations. As part of effort to ease pressure on the nation's aviation market, the Minister of Aviation and Aerospace Development, Festus Keyamo, has formally unveiled the Nigeria Aircraft Leasing Company. The announcement made at a high-powered stakeholders meeting in Abuja, together with airline executives and officials from the Aviation Ministry, underscores government's push to create a more sustainable operating environment for domestic carriers. Daniel Obi reports.
Speaking at the event, Keyamo stated that the leasing company constitutes a core component of the federal government's broader aviation reform agenda. He said the move reflects a deliberate policy shift towards strengthening Nigerian airlines through targeted interventions that improve competitiveness and long-term viability.
We know the problem. Our approach is how to help them. There's no private operator who is happy to cancel flights. He's running down his business, losing money. He's losing money. So nobody will wake up and say, I want to cancel flights. No. So, but we engage them privately. We try to push them to offer their best services. We don't leave them alone like that. But publicly, we have to ensure that we support those businesses by policies. Even when not supporting them by money. You know, everything that they need is policy. Policy to make sure they survive.
According to the minister, the Nigeria Aircraft Leasing Company will remain predominantly private sector driven, with government intervention limited to targeted guarantees aimed at de-risking the structure and attracting credible investors.
The African Development Bank has keyed into this because they have an integrated program for this kind of thing in Africa. And Nigeria, because of this, is one of their pilot countries now, for which they have established a $7 billion package for this program.
Mr. George Uriese, Chief Executive Officer of Ibom Air, who spoke on behalf of the airline operators, described the initiative as long overdue. He commended the ministry's ongoing reform efforts and said the leasing company could materially improve fleet planning, reduce operational disruptions, and lower costs for Nigerian carriers.
So if we take our A220 from the factory at 30% interest rate, and our competitors elsewhere take it from the factory at 3%, while they are paying $100 a month for the aeroplane, I'm paying $600, $700 for the same aeroplane, for the same business. Already our hands are tied behind our back in the wrestling ring. So what is done is untying our hands by providing us a Nigerian leasing company that not only will it provide us access to aircraft at way reduced interest rates, we'll be paying it in Naira.
According to the aviation minister, additional details on capitalization, governance, and timeline for operational rollouts will be released as engagements with investors and technical partners progress. Daniel Obi, ASO Television News.
As residents of the Federal Capital Territory joins the world to mark the 2026 Eid al-Kabir, environmental stakeholders have called for active participation of all residents in ensuring a wealthy FCT through a cleaner environment. An environmentalist and Chief Executive Officer of Digital Peers International, Dr. Mrs. Ibokun Odusote, in collaboration with the Abuja Protection Board and the Federal Ministry of Environment during a sensitization exercise at the Goglada Motor Park in Abuja, emphasized economic importance of waste management through plastic recycling. Correspondent Ile Meje has details.
Speaking with newsmen during the FCT cleanup exercise, an environmentalist and Chief Executive Officer of Digital Peers International, Dr. Mrs. Ibokun Odusote, highlights effective transformation of plastic waste into wealth.
To make the people understand that we don't want plastics to be just on the roads,
that when you take your water, pure water as we call it, in sachets, don't throw the sachets through the window and just throw it on the street. They are blocking our waterways. They are blocking various places where we are supposed to have free flow.
While acknowledging the value addition resulting from plastic waste conversion through cottage industries, Mrs. Odusote urged relevant authorities to embrace and support the enormous value chains across waste management for the economic benefits.
So we are going around cleaning the environment and telling the people. You would also observe that we have put some of these young boys go around picking the dust bins, you know, the scavengers. They call them Bababola. All the Bababola, we have gathered them together.
Earlier, Principal Estate Officer, Solid Waste Management Department of the Abuja Environmental Protection Board, AEPB, Ayo Maureen, disclosed that it is a wealthy environment which can be fully achieved through a collective responsibility of all residents.
Every hand has to be on deck to make sure that we have a cleaner and healthier environment. This is why I said that the waste management should not only be handled by government agencies alone. At least with the help of the private firms and others, as a collective responsibility, we will.
The exercise aims to promoting environmental sanitation, public awareness, and community participation towards a cleaner, healthy, and wealthy FCT. Ile Emeje, ASO Television.
That's the bulletin. I am Tina Oje Achu. Thanks for watching.